Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Triple N Talk Show. I am Dr. Nik Nikam, and we are delighted to have you. And we have a very fascinating program today. And all our programs are video streamed through YouTube and Google Plus under our channel Nik Nikam. That is Nikam. We would like you to please visit our YouTube channel and subscribe to our YouTube channel, where we have close to 1,000 videos accenting our experience here in the United States. We also have more than 1.1 million views, and YouTube has cited our channel as excellent community service. So we would like you to please do subscribe to our YouTube channel. We also have a Facebook page, which is Triple N Media, where we bring you the latest buzz from around the world, and we would like you to please do visit our Facebook page and like it. Today we are going to travel to South India. The South India is a part which comprises Kerala, Karnataka, Andhra Pradesh, the new Telangana state, Tamil Nadu, and all these states have one thing in common, and that is music, right? And that is Carnatic classical music. To talk about Carnatic classical music, not only in southern part of India, but also its vibrant nature here in the United States, particularly in the Houston area. And to talk about that, we have two experts here today, and I am so delighted to have them on my program. To my right is Kruthi Bhat, who is a Carnatic classical music genius with an angel's voice, and I would say she's along the same line as M.S. Subbalakshmi and Lata Mangeshkar, at least in my opinion. She has been trained by her mother Raja Rajeshwari, along with her uncle Vidwan Vittal Ramamurthy, and she has also been a disciple of Lalgudi Jairam. And in fact, she received the Best Female Vocalist Award from Madras Music Academy. Is it still called Madras, even though the whole state is changed to Chennai?
Yes, it's still
okay.
Madras Music Academy.
She was also the recipient of the Indian Raga Fellowship at the MIT in 2013. And she has also been winner of the Carnatic Music Idol in the United States. She has given hundreds of solo concerts all across the United States and also in various parts of India. And her last presentation, which was a rendition of 7 different languages of Krishna bhajans at the Janmashtami 2016 in Houston, has already received more than 450 views on our Nik Nikam YouTube channel. So we would like you to please visit our YouTube channel and subscribe to our YouTube channel. And also the solo concert she gave at the Meenakshi Temple last November has had more than 22,000 views on our Triple N Media YouTube channel. Kruthi, we are delighted to have you. I'm so much interested to find out more about yourself. And next to her is Uma Raganathan, who is also a Carnatic classical music expert. You want to give us a little bit about your background? Welcome to Triple N Media, both of you.
Sure. My name is Uma Raganathan. I hail from South India. By profession, I'm a human resources professional. I work in an oil and gas industry. I head up recruitment and mobility. Music has been my passion since the age of 4. Have learned under a number of teachers, and currently I train myself under the able guidance of Srimati Raja Rajeshwari Bhat, Houston's very own, very renowned teacher. And I also pursue music therapy, being a psychologist, to practice music on people who have been mentally challenged, as well as children from depressed backgrounds.
It's very interesting you talk about music as therapy. In fact, this book I have written, Stress-Free Lifestyle, I talk about the role of music in medicine, where we, especially in operating rooms, they use Largo type music, which is the slow type of music, which has been shown to reduce heart rate and metabolism. I had to plug that in as a cardiologist. Well, ladies and gentlemen, you are watching a Triple N talk show, and we are talking about South India and Carnatic classical music, and my special guests are Kruthi Bhat, who is an internationally acclaimed Carnatic vocal artist, and next to her is Raganathan. Okay, let's start off, ladies. Both of you can answer this one. How would you describe Carnatic classical music to somebody who is not familiar with Carnatic music?
First off, I think music is universal.
Yeah.
Because the impact of it, regardless where it comes from, is the same on us physically, mentally, psychologically, and emotionally. So I think the fact that it's music, I'm sure anybody can connect to it. Indian music, we essentially describe as one of the oldest schools of music, especially Carnatic music. Carnatic and Hindustani were not necessarily different. They were the same. It was more called Shastriya Sangeet back in India. And over the 15th, 16th centuries when, the distinctions started appearing more crystal clearly. In Carnatic music, one of the oldest forms of music, it employs literature where there is a lot of reference, there is huge amount of involvement of the various religious texts, of the various Shastras, Puranas, etc. So it is quite heavy on literature on one side. And then the other leg of it is grammar. There is a lot of math, there is a lot of technique, there is a lot of voice culture involved in music. And all of these together, one is the pitch or the shruti, and then you have the scales, which are the ragas, and then you have the rhythm and rhythmology concepts, which is the talas, and the lyrics or, the different historical, nature-related, society-related texts. All of these come together, and that's what present themselves as Carnatic music.
Kruthi, how would you explain it to your classmates?
Like she said, it's an old, ancient art form, and we are all very blessed to be learning this, actually.
That's fascinating because, I have studied both Ramayana and Mahabharata, and in fact I have written this screenplay, which is Ramayana screenplay. I want to give it to both of you as a gift.
Sure.
And if you look at all those shlokas that were written, like Ramayana was like 50,000 shlokas. This was all based on classical music and with, as you said, perfectly metered. I mean, this was written like 5,000-10,000 years ago, and still they were able to put all those things into place so that they perfectly match with the tal and all these different things. That's what makes it. Same thing with Mahabharata. Mahabharata is supposed to have like 100,000 shlokas. Absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, you are watching a Triple N talk show. I am Dr. Nik Nikam, and today we are talking about Carnatic classical music, and which covers the South Indian states such as Kerala, Karnataka, Andhra Pradesh, Telangana Nadu, and Tamil Nadu. And my special guests are Kruthi Bhat and Raganathan. Okay, let's talk about how does Carnatic music, classical music. I think most classical music have very strict foundation, historic and cultural background, and all these things. How does Carnatic classical music differ from, like, say, Hindustani classical music or what I should say, Western classical music?
I wouldn't say strict. I would say enriched. It has an enriched tradition. It's not really strict. And it is based on a heavy emphasis on extreme discipline and kind of giving yourself. It's almost a tapas, if that's how my gurus would say. It's not a pastime.
That's right.
So it's not an entertainment alone. It's more an enlightenment. Essentially, Carnatic and Hindustani will have the same basics.
I see,
So the level of detailing and all is almost the same. It's just the technique that they employ would be a little different. Their voice culture techniques versus our voice culture techniques. Their presentation of ragas in different flavors than ours. Their employment of songs. Ours is, Carnatic music is quite heavily based on religious texts, and divinity is a heavy part of it.
That's right,
In Hindustani, you employ a lot more other things. There is a lot of romantic poetry that comes in. There is a lot of nature-related topics that come in. There is a lot of nationalism. And we do see that in contemporary Carnatic music, like Bharadiyar. His compositions are more around nature, patriotism, etc. So there wouldn't be much theoretical difference. It's more the technique. With Western classical also, last week we were talking to someone from the Rice University who is a lecturer, and she had attended a Carnatic concert, and to her pleasure she was able to connect with some of the concepts like the use of tones, the use of rhythmic scales, etc. The difference she explained to me was Western music is much more orchestrated. It's much more, you don't improvise really on stage. In classical, there is a lot of improvisation on stage. There is a lot of improvisation in the performance. So that's how she described to me the difference.
Excuse me. Don't worry, it will all be cut off. So. Actually, Kruthi Bhat is a living personification of what Carnatic classical music is, I would say, because, you know, she grew up in India and she came here when she was real young, and to pursue the entire Carnatic classical music to a level which is so high. Walk us through, you know, when you started singing and how much time you spend in learning Carnatic music, and what it takes to become like the best female Carnatic vocalist from award from Madras. I always use old terminology. Mysore, Madras, Bombay, and all this. My friends say, "Hey, no, you're too old. You know, you should use the new terminology." I said,
it's more the spirit than the
I
name.
tell you, that's the thing, you see, because when I left India, it was Madras.
Yep.
When I visited, it was Madras, so that's the only memory I have.
Yeah.
And she's received the Best Female Vocalist Award, which is supposed to be the most prestigious institution for Carnatic classical music, that is the Madras Music Academy. Okay, walk us through, for all of us and for young aspiring musicians, from the day you started singing, what are all the things you did to get to this level?
I don't know exactly the day or the year I started singing, but I was told by my mom that the first time I sang a Geetam or Varavina was when I was 10 months old, when she was in class.
That is fascinating.
So I've always grown up with the music environment because my mom's a teacher and she's had many students in India and here. So I've always been with music 24/7. Even now, to this day, we listen to music all day. Even when I'm at
that's
college.
fascinating, because I mean, you know, I have done Shreya Ghoshal show and the Sonu Nigam show and all this, and I did a lot of research whenever I do those things. Sonu Nigam started like when he was 3 years old or so, and when you're less than 1 year old, I probably you may not remember. Huh?
Yeah, I don't remember. I was just told.
What is the first thing you remember? You know, like connecting music with yourself and with the people.
What I remember is when I was 3, I sang a prayer for a program.
Yeah.
Where I remember that I sang the song and I started improvising.
Yeah.
I did my own swarams and all that with the accompanist for the next concert.
So are you very good in math, or what does it take to really master classical music? That's what I'm trying to get at it, you know. What is the inner driving force or engine?
For me, the driving engine is my mom.
I see.
She's the one who's been, you know, trying to make me practice and, you know, completely make me get into the music environment and focus on music, teach me all the nuances.
That's fascinating. Ladies and gentlemen, you are watching a Triple N talk show. I am Dr. Nik Nikam, and all our programs are video streamed through YouTube and Google+. Please visit our YouTube channel, Nik Nikam, and subscribe to our YouTube channel so that we can keep you abreast of our latest additions to our YouTube channel. We also have a Facebook page, which is Triple N Media, where we bring you the latest buzz from around the world, and we would like you to please visit our Facebook page and like it. Okay, let's continue. So, how many hours do you practice?
It's kind of hard since I'm in college now, but I tried to do at least 2 to 3 hours a day. And I also play violin, so I do an hour of that. So
when you are improvising, I mean, how do you conceptualize okay, you got this one line, and obviously, you're going to be saying.
Improvising skills you mainly develop by listening to a lot of older generation, our ancestral musicians, and actually, I think that's the main part. Recording?
Yeah, I have a recording. Okay. Anyway, we'll edit it. Don't worry. Oh, okay, go ahead.
Okay. So, improvising, you can only develop. I think one main way to develop improvisation is listening to music and from different artists. It's not something that you can be taught.
But it's a lot of it is your own creativity.
Yes, it develops as you understand the ragam or the scale more.
Yeah.
And
I think one of the things is our music is very heavily relying on listening.
Yes.
So as much classroom learning is a part of it.
Yeah.
My teachers would say it's 25% class.
I see.
25% learning, 25% performing, and 25% listening. So that's kind of how you compose and you learn together.
Yeah.
You put all these things in the mix. And when you listen, yes, music is something, it's like the Vedas, it's passed on through listening. That's how we know the people have validated good music for us, the correct techniques, the correct usage of the phrases, etc. A little bit of maybe improvisation and creativity is coming from us in terms of math.
Yeah.
And also maybe putting pieces together.
That's what,
so if there is a style of music that one musician had, and another style of music or school of music, and we really want to put things together, that becomes a new style.
See, you brought up an important question, which in fact I wanted to ask her, and putting the pieces together. So now you have one classical music piece, and how do you arrange all those things? Is it all just mental? Have you written down the script?
Yes, everything we learn. I have to write down all the notations.
That's the first time I have heard this, because most other classical musicians, they say, they sit there and based on the response from the audience and the vibrations they're getting.
Improvising is, of course, you can write down, but I mean the songs and all.
No, like when you're improvising classical music, is it on the go? Or
yes, it's on the go.
Is that right?
Definitely on the go. It's not something you practice.
So you need a lot of responsive audience, right? If everybody is sleeping. Huh?
Yes, and accompanists matter a lot too. So.
That's yeah. So yeah, that's what I see. The mridangam player and the violin player and whoever is using the
ghatam
and all this.
Kanjira.
The whole team itself is enjoying the music so much, so it is so infectious. It draws all the audience into the whole concert. That's what I see, because like when I saw, when you're doing that 7 renditions of 7 different languages of Krishna, this one bhajan, you were enjoying more than anybody else. And how do you do that? Because obviously you're sitting in front of thousands of people there, and you have to remember what next to say, and you have to connect with the drummers, the drum player and the music system and all this. How do you do that?
Once you're inside, once you're involved with the music, everything else doesn't matter. Personally, I never look at the audience or anything. Right? When I start singing, it's just me and the music around me.
That's why, because you are, as I said, you are enjoying music so much that is radiating to the entire auditorium. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I think for our music, it's less orchestrated behind the scenes.
Yes.
It is what happens on the stage on that day.
Yeah.
So it's very important for the musician to connect with the audience. So and that comes with experience. So a senior seasoned musician, when they get on stage, they may have sort of a concert list or something.
Yeah.
But depending on who the audience is, they would make their choices. Is this supposed to be a technically intensive concert, or is it supposed to be more of a audience friendly, more common songs, etc.? And then the percussion flows with them, supporting and making the concert an interactive process.
So when the music is really going good and you're improvising and everybody's enjoying, when do you decide maybe we need to stop this and go to the next rendition or something?
I think it's something you will feel, because it's very subjective. you would know that, okay, people are extremely engaged. It's time for maybe improvising. The musicians are very engaged. Or you would feel like this is a tiebreaker sort of a piece before I go into my main one. So it's more subjective than kind of having an equation. And that's what makes music so good, because everybody has their own mantra, if I can say.
Ladies and gentlemen, you are watching a Triple N talk show. I am Dr. Nik Nikam, and we are talking about Carnatic classical music, which covers southern part of India, including states such as Kerala, Karnataka, Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, and Tamil Nadu. And today we have one of the most distinguished Carnatic music artists, Kruthi Bhat, along with her friend Uma Raganathan. And okay, let's talk about. You said, do you practice every day?
Yes.
So you don't go to parties and all this? Huh?
We manage time.
Okay, let's talk about. Tell us a little more about this Carnatic music. For general audience, what kind of different songs are covered here, and what different instruments are used in a typical Carnatic concert compared to other ones?
So for a student who learns music, there is an extremely structured approach to learning Carnatic music, which was laid down by the father of music. His name is Purandara Dasa. Yeah. A very important name anybody should remember, regardless whether
I know, when I was studying, I didn't get a chance to say I'm also from Karnataka. So today you got everybody from South India. And I remember studying Purandara Dasa Kirtans in school.
So he's the one who gave that intense structure, where you start all the way from basics, the 7 notes, different permutation combinations of the 7 notes, putting them in a different sets of rhythmology, introducing the concept of talas, which is 7 basic talas, and then so that's the system that he has brought about. And then we progress to learn small songs, which are geetams, very basic, then more complex pieces, which are called varnams, and then you go to learn real kritis or kirtanas, which are songs that are intended to be used in a concert. So what the audience sees in a concert is not really the basics. They see only what we come, and we get there about after 5 years of intense practice is when you get there. It
depends on your speed of learning and
you see, that's the beauty of it, because as a cardiologist, when I'm treating somebody, they're not looking at what I studied in medical school for 5 years and 6 years of training and all these things. They are seeing the conglomeration of all those experience that we bring, because you have to think on the spot. Like you said, when you're improvising, you're doing it on the spot. Do you know that this is how you're going to improvise, or you just let your mind kind of...
it's just what comes on the spot.
Is that right?
We have some structure or framework, that is laid down by our ancestors, if I can say that way. And there is a basic framework, but inside that there is a lot to play with, a lot of subjectivity.
And how does someone, improve, go from one level to the other?
Practice, basic, and it's dedication towards the art. How many hours can you spend in a day? And how serious are you? Because there are kids who might just enjoy music, but they may want to just stick to the basics, not progress much. There are people who have the drive to learn more, and this music is one where you have to invest a lot of time and energy. It's not something you can get on stage in 2-3 years, which is what today's generation tends to think. Instant coffee, so instant concerts. So it takes a lot of years.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, you are watching a Triple N talk show. I am Dr. Nik Nikam, and my special guests are Kruthi Bhat and Uma Raganathan, and we are talking about South Indian Carnatic classical music. Please do subscribe to our YouTube channel and also visit our Facebook page, which is Triple N Media, where we bring you the latest buzz from around the world. Okay, Kruthi, let's switch gears and talk about the Houston
Youth Music Association.
Oh, Houston Youth Music Association. Okay, tell us about your prodigy.
So this is basically a practice group. Before we even created the name, we met up every week and practiced, and it was basically a group where my mom's advanced students came up with the idea of meeting and practicing, and then later on wanting to host concerts to inspire students around here.
Yeah.
And we started in 2013 and formally started in 2015, May of 2015.
I see, yeah. So how many members you have in your group?
We have...
It's been different every time and it's been increasing.
Oh, okay.
We'll go over that again.
Yeah, 1 second, yeah. Yeah, go ahead.
The number has been increasing. It's
Yeah.
again, it's an open association, and it's people whoever would like to come and practice, be part of it, listen, enjoy music. So we started with we have about 5 to 6 board members,
I see, yeah.
and the rest of them are all Rasikas, students,
Oh,
performers.
I see,
everyone.
yeah. So what's the main mission of your project?
Our main goal is really to take
Yeah.
music to an audience that may not really see classical music as their first option
Yeah.
when they look around for music. So that's why it's the youth, because they have a lot of options. They have a lot of media, they have exposure to a lot of things. How do we make sure that the beauty and the greatness of classical music does reach them?
Yeah.
That's kind of what our goal is, to make it available, make it reachable to them.
You know, Facebook is probably the most effective way to reach out to
Yes, of
people
course.
all across the globe, I should say. And I have found out Facebook to be the most interactive because people can post their music, they can post their notations, they can get critiques from other people, they can get links to other sites. So maybe, you know, you all can consider putting a Facebook for your
Well, we do have a Facebook
we do have
page,
a
and
Oh, I see.
Kruthi manages that quite actively,
Oh, that's good,
communicating with a lot of people through Facebook, popularizing our events and
That's right.
activities.
If you put those, then you can invite students to
Absolutely.
post their. Maybe they can do a historic review of Carnatic classical music, or their own video clips. They can post so that other people will have a unbiased comments. In that way, it helps people to get a lot more exposure. Actually,
Yeah, and on top of that, we have a blog as well
I
on
see,
our
yeah.
website,
that's
where people, as you say, post a lot of things, and we
That's-
have
yeah.
monthly quizzes, and we have articles and things that are posted on
Yeah.
our website. It's haimausa.org.
what are the informations people can find at your website?
About our concerts, our
I see, yeah.
activities, or we post educational articles from time to time. The latest one is on the roots of classical music by Srimati Rajarajeshwari Bhat. And then we have people who type in a lot of reviews about our programs.
Yes.
So since 2013, we've hosted some major concerts and some minor concerts as well.
Yeah.
So we've seen a lot of people give us some very encouraging feedback.
Excuse me. I'm trying to avoid all this extraneous noises. We'll clean up all this, don't worry. Ladies and gentlemen, you are watching a Triple N talk show. I am Dr. Nik Nikam, and my special guests here today are Kruthi Bhat, who is an internationally acclaimed Carnatic music lady with an angel's voice, I should say. Along with her is where's my
Uma Ranganathan.
Uma Raganathan. Okay, Uma Raganathan, and we are talking about Carnatic music. So I learnt a great deal about Carnatic music, I should say. I'm a great fan of music, but I do so many things I don't have time to learn everything in all different areas. If someone wants to be a member of your group, what do they have to do?
Just contact us, come for our
It's an
events.
open group, so
Open
anybody
group,
can
yeah.
join
Anybody.
us.
Is there a kind of
Send
a
us
fee,
an
anything
email.
like that?
No.
There's no fee. Oh, okay. And you mentioned something about your group organizing various musical concerts. So tell us about that.
So every year we try to invite a renowned musician, and then we also like to showcase some upcoming artists, and then we aim to do some workshops with renowned musicians as part of our
I see,
learning
yeah.
curve, and then regular practice sessions. So that's our program schedule.
Maybe Kruthi can tell us about this upcoming event on September 18th, 2016 at the old Stafford Center. Tell us about that.
So we're bringing Vidwan Sri Vijay Shiva from Chennai.
Yeah.
And along with him, we have R.K. Sriram Kumar sir and J. Vaidyanathan sir coming.
What is special about this artist? People can...
Well, one is heritage. He
Yeah.
has a very rich heritage. He has been trained and has been the disciple of a very, very renowned musician.
Yeah.
D.K. Jayaraman sir. And then the second thing he brings is a lot of divinity. That's what is very unique about him. Music and divinity are so inseparable.
So this is from what time to what time is this?
This is from 4 o'clock to 7.
4 to 7 p.m. at the old Stafford Center.
This Sunday,
This is on Sunday, that's right.
18th of September.
September 18, 2016. So ladies and gentlemen, please mark your calendar and please do come and enjoy the beautiful Carnatic music and also support Young Houston Youth Musicians Association, which is going to help yourself and your own children to become better musicians, I should say. Okay. What is there a fee for this concert?
Yes, there's a fee of $20. And there's also an annual membership, which is the Rasikas form.
Yeah.
And we provide 4 passes per concert.
So how many concerts do you all plan to have each year?
We do 2.
Yeah, one major concert and one more of an upcoming artist's concert.
Oh, that's
We have that coming up October 16th.
Oh, is that right? Oh, that's fascinating. Oh, okay. Let's give out your web address if anybody wants to get in touch with you for Carnatic music concerts.
They can just email me at kruthismusic@gmail.com, kruthismusic@gmail.com.
And you also have a website, right?
I did that for a high school project, and so far I've just been maintaining it.
Oh, that's very good. Well, we all have to start somewhere, and but you come so far in such a short period of time in Carnatic classical music. This is just like a great God's gift, I should say, and I think you can cherish this because you can spread so much joy to the whole music, Carnatic music fans.
People can follow me on Facebook, and I post a lot of upcoming concerts and recordings on there. So
that's true. Yeah. Any final thoughts, Uma?
About
The Carnatic music and today's conversation.
Well, I think I just encourage people to listen to classical music. At first, maybe they find it very complicated, they may find it very in-depth, very technical, but it's just about just falling in love over a period of time with music, and that's the experience we all have had, so we encourage people to really just go out and listen.
Any final thoughts you have for young musicians from your experience, what they can do to learn music better and faster?
I would just say practice and do what your guru says, because guru is ultimately your role model. So whatever the direction that your guru takes you, that's what you follow, and you will succeed.
Okay, since you travel quite a lot, I want to give you a copy of my book, which is a stress-free lifestyle. You don't need to really read this one right now. And also to Uma also there, and let me get you one of these. And
Thank you.
And it's also that Ramayan screenplay I have written. That's also for you.
Thank you.
And ladies, it's been a pleasure talking to you, and it's been a great honor for me to interview both of you. And as I said, I come from Karnataka. I grew up listening to Venkateshwara Suprabhata every morning when I was in medical school. So I have a great deal of passion for all the culture that I experienced while I was growing up in Karnataka, and hopefully Kruthi and you all can continue to carry this Carnatic music torch to a much higher level, not only in the United States but all across the globe. Thank you so much, and it's a pleasure having you.
Thank you for having us, and thank you for your support for Haima.
Oh, sure.
Thank you so much.
Ladies and gentlemen, you have been watching a Triple N talk show. Please do subscribe to our YouTube channel, and also please visit our Facebook page, which is Triple N Media, and like our page. We will see you next time. Thank you so much for watching.